Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to Yes, I'm going to use the pink mic. Welcome to Electronic Campfire number 21, Friday evening. This is March 24th. I hope everyone's doing great. I told you I would be back in 2 weeks, and I am keeping these Electronic Campfires going. We are going to do this for the rest of the year. So anyway, great to see you. How's everybody doing? Let me get orientated. Let me go right to, of course, Mr. Jarble. Thank you so much, sir, for your support. I really appreciate it. In fact, here we go. A little bit of, balloons and horn in here, right? Silly, goofy stuff. But thank you, seriously. Hi to everyone. I don't even know where to look. Okay, let's see here. We have Klaus. Hello. Anton, how you doing? Got some great people here. Natalie, good to see you. Good to see you. This is great. All right, so hello to Germany. How's it going? Sebastian, Dr. Carlson, Henninger. Welcome. And Jim, how are you doing? Got people from Canada, Denmark, all over. Let's get this party started. So what I thought I would do today is we are going to do about an hour and a half, maybe a 2-hour unboxing of this mic. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. What we are going to do is I'm going to point out a couple of gotchas on the Fujifilm X-T camera. These were two things that actually tripped me up. And I figure, hey, if they trip me up and I am constantly looking at and testing camera settings, chances are they might be tripping some of you up. So I'm going to go through that. We're going to talk a little bit about Pixel-Shift Multi-Shot, and I am working on a full-blown tutorial on that. And I mean tutorial in the sense of I'm going to go into everything that it does, when you would use it, how you would use it, but I'm just going to briefly touch upon it today because I can't do a whole lot of demos on the live stream with this particular feature. So we'll go through that. Let me look at my notes here. We are also going to talk about the two gotchas, I got that, and just some channel updates, what's happening behind the scenes and that sort of thing. And I'll take some of your questions and answers, so we'll do that as well. We'll do a Q&A. Okay, so make sure we are all good. I don't want to miss anybody. We have, wow, 87 people watching. That is really cool. Okay, so let's see what we can do with two gotchas on the Fujifilm camera. And I believe I know these are found on the X-T5. A couple of them are on the XH2, the GFX cameras. And the first one, I actually made a short, one of those YouTube shorts. I made a YouTube short about it. And the way that I approach shorts on this channel, I make them because YouTube likes to know that YouTube creators make shorts. Even though I don't care for them, YouTube loves them. And so what I do is I'll make a short and I'll publish it, but it's just kind of put out there. I don't talk about it. I don't promote it. I don't announce it. So there was a YouTube short for this. So I apologize if you were one of the 5 people on earth that actually saw it. Okay. And what it is, let me show you here. Okay, so what we have on the back of the camera, first thing is if you have a Fujifilm camera in movie mode, all right? So I had it in, and I think this will work in still mode, but it tripped me up in movie mode, okay? I had the camera in movie mode and I was just all ready to get the work done I needed to do. I popped in an SD card into slot 1, closed it up, I was on my way, and at that point, okay, I was kind of just making my settings in here. I wasn't really paying attention. I was going, oh yeah, white balance, let me set that. Okay, that's great. And I started getting this weird error message. And on the back of the camera, it said, card missing from slot 2. Now I had the card that I had put in here in slot 1. So the camera was telling me that the card was missing from slot number 2. So, and nothing would happen. I mean, I would press the shutter release and it would just, nothing would happen. So I took the card out of slot 1, I put the card in slot 2, closed it up, went to shoot again, and then I got an error message that said, card missing from slot 1. And so it was like a back and forth, you know, 1 didn't work, 2 didn't work, blah, 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 blah. So nothing worked. I finally figured it out. I feel really stupid, but in case this might be tripping out some, and by the way, this does have to do with vision and being able to discern a tiny little icon. Okay, so let me show you. It's on the back of the camera. All right, so if you're in the movie menu, all right, and you go into movie setting, nope, that's not it. Hold on, let me find it. Sorry, media record setting. You see that right there? And it's 1 to 2. Okay, 1 to 2. That means the camera is going to fill up card number 1, and then once card number 1 is full, I'm sorry, card in slot number 1, once that's full, it will then start on the card in slot number 2. Basic stuff, okay? However, what had happened was, have a look at this. I had it set right here to 1 plus 2, okay? 1 plus 2, which means for redundancy, the camera is putting my footage both to card slot 1 and card slot 2, which is a great way to do it, by the way. However, look at this icon. Like there's a little arrow, like the difference between this one is 1 with like a little arrow, and then here, 1 with a plus. And so I had it set to this, right? It was just like that. And, you know, Okay, we got all kinds of buttons being pressed here. Thank you so much. I'm just keeping you on your toes. Okay, I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you. So let's talk now about a feature that is not on a lot of Fujifilm cameras that is actually pretty cool, but very restrictive. And I am making a video on this as well. This is going to be one of my more interesting educational videos that I've done for the channel, I think. I'm really enjoying this one, okay? And it basically, let me show you where it is, and then we'll go from there. So on the camera, if I switch over to stills mode and I go into the little camera icon, you see that right there, and I go to, say, page 3, Pixel-Shift Multi-Shot. You see that right there? And it just basically gives you some intervals. Shortest, 1 second, 2, 5, 15, right? Or you could have it off. So what is it exactly? Well, let me pull up my notes here so I can tell you exactly. To understand Pixel-Shift Multi-Shot, you need to understand what a photo site is. And for that, we must go to this right here. Okay, so here we have the X-Trans filter array, okay, showing the photo site, and each photo site is a color. So you have red, green, and blue. Now, the one on the bottom are for most other cameras other than Fujifilm that use the Bayer array, okay? So what happens is that each photo site is a single color. Like you'll have one that's red or one that's blue, okay? Red, green, and blue, and that's it. And what happens is your camera needs to interpolate and figure out, based on what's around it, what all the other colors are. It's almost like it's filling in the missing pieces. Now, I'm being very simplistic on this live stream. My video is going to get into this in excruciating detail. But what you need to know is that when you put your camera on that Pixel Multi-Shot feature, what happens is your camera, the Fujifilm X-T5, is going to take 20 raw files. Now, as you know, each file is 40 megapixels. So you're going to get 20 raw files. And then what your camera is doing, and this only works with IBIS cameras. In other words, you've got to have a sensor that moves around, okay? That can move around, an IBIS sensor. That's called the sensor dance. And what happens is it takes the first shot and then it shifts the sensor by a half of a pixel. And then it takes the next shot and then it shifts again and it goes up, down, left, right, like that, okay? Like kind of like that. And now you're left with 20 raw files, okay? So what do you do with these things? Well, first of all, why would you want to do this in the first place? Well, the idea is to get a super high resolution image that is much higher than the 40 megapixel restriction that you have on the Fujifilm X-T5 camera, or whatever camera you're using. They have this also on the XH2 and the GFX. So the idea is to get a super high super high resolution image that also gets what's called true colors. And that's because and this is getting a little technical here, and I would rather save a lot of this for the video, but just to tell you, I'll tell you, when it's shifting around the sensor, it's getting the actual color and it doesn't need to interpolate, okay? So it gets the correct color, it is able to get a much higher version of it. And so what you do is you take those 20 photos, and there are two types of software that you can use that I know of to make one image out of that. One is called Fujifilm Pixel-Shot image. Hold on, let me get the exact wording for you. Because they name all these things so weird. Okay, it's called Fujifilm Pixel-Shift Combiner. If you go to Google, you type that in, Fujifilm Pixel-Shift Combiner, that is the software that you can take the 20 images, dump them in there, and then it will spit out one image that's super high resolution, okay? The other software that you can use is Capture One. And you can use Capture One for Fujifilm. You can also use Capture One Express as well. So you have kind of those options. I am not aware if there's other software that can work like that with Pixel-Shift. Maybe there are. I haven't gone down that research route yet, which I will do for the video. But for today's live stream, those are the two. And so what you do is now you have this image, super high resolution. So sounds great, right? And you know, in the idea behind it is awesome because it allows you to take a sensor that's 40 megapixels and get a super high resolution that has a much higher megapixel count to it, which then you could crop in more and, you know, and obviously that's going to affect low light noise and those kinds of things. So here's the issue. The restrictions in using this feature are pretty significant, okay? Let me go through them right now. First off, subject and camera motion, all right? This is the #1 reason why a lot of people are failing to use this feature and they're getting frustrated with it. Because when I say your subject has to be completely motionless, it does. Not only that, but the camera has to be locked down. And I mean, it's very sturdy. It can't move at all. You can't go out and, you know, into nature, put out up a tripod, and if there's just the slightest little bit of wind that might not affect any other normal shot, it's going to affect this. So this type of photography is great for macro. And I'm going to tell you another secret. That's amongst my favorite kind of photography is macro. So this is right up my alley. I love macro photography. Macro photography kicks butt. It's awesome. However, though, that restriction for this is pretty severe. So the subject can't move. So getting shots of people, you know, trees that are moving, forget it. You can't use it for that. All right? So that's the first restriction. The second restriction is you got to use the electronic shutter. Not a big deal, but something you should know about that is required in order to use this multi-shot. Okay? Your maximum ISO is 1600. That's it. Okay, you can't go above that. So low light situations, you're going to have to, you know, light it up artificially if you don't have enough light. The next is lossless raw compressed only. Okay, so you're restricted on the type of format. Now, when you bring it into Capture One, you could obviously output it as other file formats. The Fujifilm software gives you a DNG, but other, like with Capture One, you could get a TIFF, or I think you can a JPEG output. So you could do your normal output that way as well. And I think that is it. No, there's one more. AFC won't work, okay? So only AFS or AFM. Basically, you can't use continual autofocus at all. Again, you're locking down the camera, you're locking down the subject, and you're using this. Now, a tip to use this, and this is from my own experience, and it's also from Fujifilm as well, but when you go to use it, put it in shortest interval. The shorter the interval, the better. But there's one exception to this. If you're using a flash, obviously you're going to need recycle time. So with a flash, you might have to, I hate to say it, but depending upon your flash, you might have to put that at 5. I'll tell you something, I really wish there was like a 10, or we could even select some out of 30, but there's not. So I'll tell you, I wouldn't go much above 5 unless you really were sure, you know, the atoms in the subject weren't moving, because it is so easy to screw this up. And that leads me to my final topic about this. Because it's so easy to kind of mess up, is there any other option that, you know, that maybe doesn't have these restrictions? And it turns out there is. There is software more and more out there that is using AI to upsample your images and make them higher res. And I'll tell you something, they're getting better at it every day. And the video that I'm going to be making, and this is sort of an announcement today, the video that I'm going to be making is specifically going to compare Fujifilm's multi-shot, what you get with that, okay, in terms of resolution, in terms of low light performance, versus, let me show you the contender. Okay, versus, and I've already been testing this out. And here it is right here. Versus DxO Pure Raw 3, okay? And it has to do not just with Pure Raw 3, but it is their technology called Deep Prime. Deep Prime XD is what it is. And basically it upsamples these images, right? As you can see, look at what it's doing to this low light image. Have a look at this. Can you see this? Here it is before, here it is after. What I have seen so far in my testing is that if I had a choice between using multi-shot pixel on Fujifilm or using software now that is using AI to upsample it, I would go the software almost every time. And if you think about it, you don't have any of these restrictions. You know, you can take action in sports photography with, you don't have to worry about that. So the video that I'm going to be making is going to go over all of this, and it's going to go through workflow. It's going to go through, the whole 9 yards. But if you don't want to wait for the video, there's free trials of this. The Fujifilm thing is free. You can get that and test it out. But definitely test it out, but don't get discouraged if you get ghosting in it. That just means that you had motion where you shouldn't have had. Again, lock that camera down, lock that subject down, and do the shortest interval, okay? I hope this helps. I hope this helps some of you, and stay tuned to my video because I'm gonna be able to demonstrate and go over a lot of things that I can't do today. All right. Let's get back to the crowd and the stream. Where are we? I feel bad. I've been ignoring all of you. Okay, so someone has Topaz. That's another one that I forgot to mention. Topaz, absolutely. And very good point. Very good point. I'll have 2 words for this, Greg. Yes, please. Fuji, come on. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, yeah. So, this is so awesome. Oh my goodness, I'm missing all of these comments, and the hardest part of doing a live stream is when you are, because I'm I'm talking to the camera, is when I look down and I see the comments. It's so easy to get sucked into that. And then I don't want to, forget you and ignore you. Okay. So question for all of you now. Come on. You got to do a little work today. Tell me, please, have you used multi-pixel shot, whatever that's called, multi-shot pixel? Have you used that? If so, have you run into any issues? Or do you have any tips that we can share right here? Or is there anything that you want me specifically to test? Because I'm already testing low light performance, right? Which do you get better low light performance? Using the Pixel Multi-Shot on the camera or using the AI software, which is better? So yeah, let me know and I'll be happy to test that out. Okay. Yes, there will be. You're talking about this lens right here? This lovely little lens right here? Yes, there will be. I don't want to say too much about this lens just yet. Let's just say, I hate giving away everything, but let's just say one of the working titles for the video is one of the few working titles of this video that I'm working on is called My Favorite All-Time Fujifilm Lens. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Okay, next topic. Inscrutable Owl, thank you so much for the sensor dance. I gotta do more of those. It's like I'm a performing monkey, that organ grinder. And I'll just do the sensor dance. Okay. So this is absolutely, hey Jack, good to see you. Good to see you. We have absolutely, this is the best time ever in the history of photography to be a photographer. This is the best time. Even if you're not pro, even if you shoot, only at family events and that's all you do, it is still the best time because of AI, because of software, because of all of the new camera features and the cost that's been continually going down on that. I mean, there's still, obviously, these are very expensive, but the quality of the optics you get in the glass versus what you're paying, all of that is just, this is such a great time to be doing this. I chose wisely with this YouTube channel, right? Because I could have just stayed in tech. I could have just had videos, on iPhone this, and I use the in tech, and I still make tech videos, but I'm getting more and more back into the photography. And I had an interesting conversation with my backstage people where I realized why sometimes some of my videos I've come across kind of negative. And it was the tech videos only. It's the tech videos. And some of them, if you look at my channel, there's some rant videos. I did a video ranting about websites. I did a video where I was annoyed with firmware update, stuff like that. And part of it is that I have this relationship with tech where I can be a little bit picky, and that can come through a little bit as negative. So I've corrected that, and there's going to be many more photography-related videos. I'm still going to do the tech, but it's going to be less than it used to be, than I was doing. I'm still probably going to have the Tech Monday, and that's probably going to be about it for that. But yeah, so let's see here. Let me go back to, are there more Flash tutorials? Absolutely. I owe you a part 5. I think I did 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to do a part 5. I do have to say that, in terms of this channel, I am, and I don't want to gripe about it, so I'm not going to gripe. I just want to say I'm feeling buried. I need help. And I think I'm maxed out with how productive I can be. So, which is fine. I don't think everybody's going to run for the hills if I'm not producing more videos, than I am now in terms of schedule. But it's just something you have to wrap your mind around, because all I want to do is publish videos for you, and so you have to know your limitations. That's just, a man's got to know his limitations. So, okay, there you go. Film simulation, extended film sim. I would like to talk about that, but not on this live stream, Jesper. See if you can connect with me offline. Use my email on the channel and shoot me a couple of questions, and I'll get back to you on that. Because definitely want to talk about that, but I don't. That's a rabbit hole I don't want to go down right this minute. Okay. Okay, I don't want to miss anybody. Andy, how you doing? So, yeah, the last thing I want to talk about today. Where are we at on time? Okay, we're good. We're good. The last thing I want to talk about today is, seriously, I mean, this is a serious question I'm going to ask you now, okay? For those of you that are doing photography either part-time or full-time, or filmmaking, either part-time or full-time, and you're getting paid for it. And by that, I mean, like, you have at least been paid once. Somebody has actually, yeah, good job, here, handed you money for something that you've created. And you kind of, so that would be the lowest base entry point there, up to, you have your own business name, your registered trademark, you this or that, and you fall anywhere in between, okay? The question that I have for you is, should you start a YouTube channel as a way to promote? And I'll tell you, my opinion on that is a firm yes, as long as the time doesn't take away from development and education and things that you need to do for your business and your personal life. But you can have a YouTube channel and you don't need to be putting out videos every week. You can have one like you have a website where it's kind of this online advertising thing. And you can put behind the scenes videos, shoot them with your phone, right? Just hold it this way, but shoot them with your phone and put them on the YouTube channel. Because clients just, I think in this day and age, and I think we're going to be getting more toward this with AI and where all that's headed, people crave real. They want to see behind the scenes. You know, if I was to hire a wedding photographer today, okay, seriously, if I was to hire a wedding photographer today and I went to 2 different websites, one of them, and the photos were amazing by both. They were exactly what I wanted, all things being equal, blah, 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 blah. However, one photographer's website had some YouTube embedded videos, you know, the most embarrassing screw up I made at a client wedding, right? Honestly, I would hire that person. I would, because they're real. And people, human touch, real, you can't, that's so rare these days. And I think it's so important. So having a YouTube channel, you know, once you set it up, I mean, that's an afternoon. You pick the channel name, you upload some art. If you have a logo, you just drop the logo in there and you shoot just a couple of videos, you know, the type of gear I use, and just kind of, you know, you could just do your best with it. Honestly, what do you think about that? Because I think this day and age, having that extra video with the audio, having that ability for your clients to hear your voice, to see you in action, behind the scenes are awesome. And I think that goes a lot farther than using an app like Instagram or TikTok. And I think Instagram's good for PR. There's no reason that it's not. But for permanence, because stuff scrolls away. But for having a record of what you're doing that you can direct people to, I think it's great to have a YouTube channel and to be able to embed videos on your website. I think that would be a great marketing thing for you. Just some thoughts off the top of my head. I'd love to hear what you think about this. If you have YouTube channels, put a link to them in the chat, because I'd love to go check them out. Okay, I can't do it right now. I'm not going to do it right now, but I read the chat after I'm done with the stream, and I'd love to see them. Blue Tag, thank you so much. Yay, that is awesome. Here we go. And Mr. Charvel too. That's just coming in. Wow, you guys. All right, enough. We're good. Thank you. So nice. Oh yeah. Okay. First of all, let me get rid of these balloons. Paul. Okay. Hold on. I got something to say about that I didn't say in the video. Okay. I can understand Amazon's position. They bought DPReview back in 2007, I believe, and they have every right to do what they want with it. Sure, you know, they paid for it. It belongs to them. So their decision to no longer keep it running and to fund it, I understand that, because when you run a large website and you add a discussion board into the mix, you add a community where you got to deal with moderators, you got to worry about getting hacked, you've got to have software updates, you got to deal with all of those things, and they do cost money. But I guess my thing that's bothering me, that's not sitting well with me with this, is why the hell didn't they just say, we're shutting the site down on such and such day. At that point, it is going to be a frozen relic in time. Okay? And the only thing Amazon would have to pay for from that point forward would be the web hosting. And frankly, with the cloud hosting, I mean, how much can that possibly be? And you're dealing with 25 years worth of questions and answers, and, you know, it would be such a great reference to have. And so to kill that reference part of it, to kill and not just keep it, you know, you don't have to do anything with it. Just shut it down, lock the doors, but keep it still standing. Does that make sense? I don't understand why they're not doing that. That has just eluded me. Unless maybe they made an announcement, but it pisses me off, to be honest with you, because I think of that. Do you know how many keystrokes? Do you have any keystrokes of knowledge 25 years is? Show of hands, how many of you have gotten help on DPReview? Chris, Jordan, if you're watching this, we all got our help on DPReview. Okay, Amazon wants to sell it because I know Amazon is walking around with an eye patch and a tin cup, and they're poor. I get it. But, come on. But okay, they have the right to do that. They have the right to get rid of it. But why not just keep it running in terms of just have it the light on, have it hosted? I just don't get it. I don't understand that. So that part of it, and I actually did go on that tangent a little bit, and I did a mini rant. And when I went in to edit the video that's on the YouTube channel right now, I cut that out. I cut the video down to 2 minutes. I just wanted a straight 2-minute video. Here's what happened. This sucks. Here's what I love about these guys. They could be, reviewing molar volume of hydrogen, and I would watch. That was it. That's all I wanted to say about it. But that, for this stream, I want you to know that really ticked me off for sure. And hopefully, maybe somebody can perhaps step in and buy it or handle it. If I had the resources here, I would. But I don't have the time or the resources, and it's sad just to see it go by the wayside. I mean, geez, 25 years. That is incredible. And what's so crazy is that just today, I did a little bit of research for today's video, Pixel-Shift Multi-Shot. And what came up? DPReview. I mean, there are thousands of articles and pages and comments and opinions, and it's such an important part of our history. And so, yeah, I mean, come on, keep the damn thing open. If anybody can step in and buy it, kudos. Try it. Maybe they could sell it. Okay, I got to get off that tangent, but that's what I think since you asked. Benjamin, hey, pal. How you doing? Benjamin Kanarick. Oh, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Awesome to see you. Awesome to see you. Benjamin, I feel so bad. I'm supposed to have Benjamin back on the podcast, and damn it, I am. There is one person I have to put ahead of you only because I promised him, Benjamin, and that's Michael Spatola. So I gotta get organized one of these days around here. But it's great to see you, and I absolutely want to connect with you so much. So please, if you don't hear back from me in the next 14 days, can you shoot me a message? Not on Instagram, I'll never see it, but maybe through the email on the website. I know email's lame, but I actually do see those. So if you could shoot me one, I absolutely want to make this work. I want to connect with you. I love chatting with you, man. It is great to see you here. Who else do we have? Who else is hiding in here? Did I see Aaron somewhere? I do see Aaron. So, wait a minute. Standing in the healthiest fast food restaurant I could find. That's great. Good to see you. What city are you in now? This guy travels more than like an airline pilot. I mean, literally every day he's in a new city. So cool. Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, awesome. I'm so glad you stopped by. Okay, yes, Michael, you are coming on. By the end of this weekend, you're going to get an email from me, my friend. I promise. For anyone, Michael Spatola is my favorite photographer on planet Earth. And in the podcast, you're going to know why. We're going to do a podcast. So, yes. Awesome. I can't wait to do that. Okay. We got some great comments here. We got some funny comments here. I like this one right here. Anybody can get that one. Oh, this is funny. But what do you all think about that? I mean, it's one thing for if the Home Depot website were being shut down. Okay, I mean, the Home Depot website goes down. But there's something different about a community, about all of the thousands of photos, and maybe storage space is expensive. So I get that. And maybe if there was a way they could strip out all the attachments and photos and just have the answers and responses, because there's so many questions that are answered. Anyway, I'm not going to keep talking about it. Okay. Hello, Wim. How you doing? Mark, good to see you. Good to see you. Whoops, I didn't put that. There we go. Okay. Okay. Oh, this is awesome. All right. Well, if anybody has any questions about this multi-shot thing, about when I do the unboxing of this. And that was really funny. I mean, I normally don't, I used to comment back. Whenever somebody would comment on my videos, I would always respond to them. And as you grow in subscribers and as you grow in audience views, you can't possibly keep up. I mean, I probably could keep up, but then I wouldn't be making as many videos or doing the research I need to do for the channel. So at some point, you just have to let them go. It's like a conveyor belt of, you know, there goes a message, there goes another one, there goes another one. And finally, you sit back and you're looking at the conveyor belt of messages, which is kind of stressful because each message that goes shooting by is somebody out there on planet Earth who sat down, took the time, typed it in, and a lot of people, if they don't get a reply, they don't understand that maybe I didn't see it. It's more of maybe I was ignoring them, and that is just not the case. So I don't comment back a whole lot, but someone on one of my recent videos, which one was it? Hold on, I gotta tell you. Hold on one second. Let me pull it up. I think it was, yeah. Okay, so it was the video called Fujifilm Cameras, 2 Devices in 1. And the thumbnail for it, I'm holding this. In fact, that thumbnail was the reason I had to reshoot the video after that, because I did the thumbnail and I turned off Face Eye Auto Detect. So I wanted to kind of show me like holding a camera. So I was holding the Fujifilm camera like this. And you see how when I do this, it's still focusing on me because of Face Eye Auto Detect. If you go look at the thumbnail, you'll see what I'm talking about. So for the thumbnail, I had to put the camera on manual focus, right? So I could get the camera in focus, except I forgot to put it back. And I shot an entire video where, you know, Hal was the star. Hal was perfectly clear and I was completely blurry. So anyway, somebody commented on that video and they were, let's just say, a little direct, okay? And there's always a bit of truth behind every single comment, okay? And even the not so nice ones. And so I responded back, and what they didn't like was that I had spent, it was like 2 minutes or a minute and a half talking about this mic, where I got this mic and why it was in the video. And so I said, I kind of trolled them back and I said, well, I'm doing a full-blown unboxing, which actually would be and I thought maybe I'll do that for the April 1st video, you know, a full unboxing of this. Now I can't do it because I just told you about it. Damn it. Anyway, so I'll do something else, maybe. So, okay, back to here. Yes, good point. Don't know if I can afford them. They'll be demanding too much allowance, but maybe. Okay. Yes, I do. I need, part of what I need is time to just think. It's like shut all this stuff down and think about ideas. And that's where I'm finding the biggest challenge, is shutting everything off and having idea thinking time. You know, I don't know if you've struggled with that or not, but I do. It's hard. Florian, good to see you, pal. Good to see you. Yeah, you know, Gary, you bring up a good point. It is a little bit like Wikipedia. There I am, back on that subject again. It's great to see you all. Okay, so, yeah, I'm going to be getting going because I got to start my Friday evening. It's been a long week, and yeah. How does this time work for you? A little bit better or not? Let me know. I started at 5 today and not 4. Don't know if that helps. Or should I just do these things over the weekends? Is that better? But, you know, let me know. Let's see. I'm just seeing if there's any questions I can answer really quickly. And a lot of them probably not. Hold on. Oh, my goodness. Let me go back here. I'm going way back to the beginning. Hello from Zurich. Okay, I think we started there. Yes, Greg, totally agree with you on that one. That's the best way to, by the way, if you're a YouTuber, if you ever do start your own YouTube channel, I'll tell you the best way, if you get a question or if you get a comment and you don't have time to get into all the details on it, just throw the thing up on the screen and say, absolutely, I agree with you 100%. Move on the next thing. Because sometimes you just can't keep up. Right? So, I don't know. I honestly don't know. We'll find out. I don't know. Zechariah, hello. Good to see you. Thank you so much for the nice comment. That's so nice of you. Okay. Oh, wow. All right. This I will answer. What's your budget? Okay. But if there is no budget, I would say the 50 to 140 because it gives you that focal range. Whereas with the 75, you're stuck with that 75. The question was, what's better, this lens, right? Or is it this one? Here, hold on. We like to do product demos on this channel. I'll do this before I go. Okay, which one is it? 2? Yes. Okay, so this lens here, the Viltrox 75, okay, or the 50 to 140. My vote is the 50 to 140 because I like the versatility. I love the background on this. This is one of my top 3 lenses for Fujifilm in terms of favorites. The only and I love the OIS on it. The only drawback to this lens for me is it's just kind of big. I know that's all relative if you're coming from full frame. I get that. But it's compared to other Fujifilm lenses, this is a rather big piece of glass, yeah? But I love it. And so that would be the one I would choose between those two. And if budget, money, cost were no object. What do you all think? Let me know. I'd be curious to know what you think. Now, the 18 to 300 is a good idea too. Absolutely. Let me put that up on the screen. Consider this, sir. Consider this one for sure. Okay. Good. Oh, we got comment. Now you guys are asking all the comments. Okay. Great. Okay. So, I think the announcement, I'm sorry. This really bothered me. DPReview. I think now more than ever, we do need to not just have YouTube channels, but build communities. I'm trying to do that with Backstage, and so far, it's my favorite place to hang out. I love the group on Backstage, but it's not scalable. I mean, there's no way I could run Backstage and the Discord server, if it were public and anybody, you had thousands of people, because I don't have those resources to do that. But I think if you do have those resources and you are able to promote and run communities, the photography profession needs community more than most professions. And I say that with all seriousness, because a lot of jobs, a lot of professions, you show up at work. Let's say you work in a hospital, you throw on a white coat, you go in and you're talking and interacting with other people. Photography has a huge amount of isolation time. Editing, where you're staring at a screen and editing pixels, or you're behind that camera. So there's that layer of abstraction, yeah? And then, even more removed from that, there's something about constantly looking at what the rest of the world is doing through this little tiny opening here, or through the back LCD screen. And again, you're further putting yourself on the edge, on the outside. And so the community feel of being able to connect with other photographers. And this is also why I do get kind of pissed off when people get on each other about particular gear choices or brands, camera brands. I mean, come on. I mean, if you're not using Fuji, you're nuts, right? I mean, what's to say? But anyway, so, I mean, my point though is that whatever brand you use, there needs to be a real awakening with community. And now that DPReview is going to be gone, and Amazon couldn't be bothered keeping the site even running in archive mode, what's going to fill that gap? Because YouTube channels and comments, they're not enough. They're not even close to filling that gap. And so here's I know that Fuji Rumors posted something about a Fuji X forum, and maybe we need to all jump over there. I don't have the link right now, but if somebody could drop it in the comments, it's Fuji X forum. That would be a great place to go. I don't know. There's no easy answer for this, but I do think we need community now more than ever for all of us. And it is a very isolating profession. So that's why, that's actually the reason I started these electronic campfires. I even call it an electronic campfire. It's an electronic way for us to sit around a campfire and connect. And that's why I'm doing it. It's far more important to me. I got to be kind of quiet because Gear Iguana's in the back there. It's far more important to me than the gear. Just saying. Okay. So, I'm sorry, Miles, that just sucks, man. But welcome. I'm glad you're here. If you're late to this party, if you're just showing up, this stream will be put on the channel as a regular video. So, and I'll keep the comments so you can see all the comments and all that. So you be sure to watch it back from the beginning. I'm going to get going now. I just want to make sure I haven't forgotten anybody or anything. No, we're good. Okay. All right. Yes, me too. I love these comments. All right. Thank you, everyone. And I love this community of, what are we at? 113 concurrent viewers right now. So there are 113 of us right now around this electronic campfire. Wherever you are in the world, we're all together sharing this experience and talking about photography. And if that's not awesome and wonderful and a great way to kick off the weekend, I don't know what the hell is, okay? This is awesome. So thank you, everyone. If you liked this stream, click on the like. I don't even know where it is, somewhere in here. The like and subscribe. Give it the like and subscribe. It actually helps YouTube. You know, it kind of feeds that ever-hungry algorithm. So give it the like and subscribe. And I am going to be signing off now, but have a wonderful weekend, all of you. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for this community. Love you guys and gals, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you soon.